I wanted to be at Texas State. I chose to be at Texas State. I'm from Texas. That was important to me. I always knew if the right guy got this job, you better watch out.
You better watch out. This is Win Now or Get Bent, episode 195. If you don't already know, I'm Kev Tardello, coming to you on Friday, June 27th. And pack your bags, sickos. The Bobcats are going to the West Coast. Pac-12 invitation is finally in hand for Texas State. The saga is almost over. We have to wait for a Border Regents meeting on Monday. As soon as that is voted on, by all accounts, it's going to be passed unanimously, and the Bobcats will accept an invitation to the Pac-12. How about it? We've only been talking about it since last summer, and here we are. We are finally at the door of the Pac-12. It's one step, and we're in there. Conference realignment. Oh, I know there were a lot of you out there that were pretty tired of all this talk about the Pac-12. Is it actually going to happen? Some of you even may have thought we were making stuff up, but here we are. Here we are. The Bobcats are going to the West Coast. Surf's up. All right, we're going to talk all about it. We got lots to talk about. Lots of content coming up for you this weekend. I have prepped zero for this one. I don't need to. We are going off the cuff here. But before we get there, this episode is brought to you by TGC LLC, the GalindoCollective.com. That's GALINDO, GalindoCollective.com. A team of professional consultants dedicated to helping others realize their business potential through people, planning, and practice. Their services cover a wide range of areas such as business strategy, marketing, human resources, and financial planning. If you own property or a business and want to maximize its profitability, contact TGC at thegalindocollective.com, GALINDO, thegalindocollective.com, and follow their social media platforms on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at TGC_LLC, and on Instagram and Facebook at the Galindo Collective. Shout out to my guy, Rick Galindo, a true Tech State sicko, a Tech State grad. He's been with us. We are going into our third season. He jumped in right before this whole party started with the GJ Kinney saga. It's GJ Kinney era, I should say. And he's been with us. He's helped us get to a lot of places, from Dallas to bowl games to New Orleans for media relations. So I cannot thank Rick Galindo enough. I know he's going to be excited about some West Coast Bobcats. He may be in prime location for it. We won't reveal too much there, but check out the GalindoCollective.com. That's GALINDO, the GalindoCollective.com. All right, let's get to these Bobcats. Pac-12. That's what we're talking about here. The Bobcats I can't say accepted. They have an invitation to join the Pac-12 in hand. We have waited long and hard for it, and we finally got the news last night, Thursday night. I think it was around 11 o'clock. My guy, Michael Adams at the Austin Sports Journal. Shout out to Michael Adams. He dropped that bomb to the whole world that the Bobcats finally had that invitation. We've seen so many people hint at it. We've seen some of these national reporters get some of these scoops. It's really cool to see an independent journalist and Michael Adams, somebody I've worked with before at the Austin American-Statesman, to get that. He was one of the only other outlets at Pro Day. When we were all the stuff we did for Pro Day with all the interviews and everything like that, there wasn't a ton of media there, but Michael Adams was there. He's been working on the Austin Sports Journal. Make sure you check them out for sure. I know they're doing great stuff, and they're going to be writing a lot about the Bobcats. We're going to get some great synergy with them, by the way, not to spoil anything. I'm going to have my guy Michael come on the pod. We're going to figure out some good stuff coming up. But this was exciting news to drop. I mean, because you saw Michael Adams put it out there, and then a little later you see the big dogs, ESPN, Yahoo, they all start to follow suit. And the news, that makes it official, because we saw some of these accounts, especially on Twitter. You see some of these accounts that are really they're trying to push for some Twitter points, and they're making stuff up and they're calling it too early. And it wasn't official until real late Thursday night, real late, that they got it in there. But boy, oh boy, the invitation, it's in hand. Why it isn't official yet is we have to wait until Monday for a Board of Regents meeting. Now, once they schedule a Board of Regents meeting, it has to be 72 hours in advance. So this would be Friday or whenever, Thursday night, whenever they called it. That would mean Monday is that 72 hours. And what an interesting date that Monday is, June 30th, my mom's birthday. But it's more interesting for reasons other than that. July 1st is the big date that we are all talking about for the Bobcats, because on July 1st, the Sun Belt exit fee doubles from 5 million to 10 million. So we knew the Bobcats, they're pretty motivated to get in there and get this deal done before July 1st, so that if they leave the Sun Belt, those exit fees won't be nearly as high. What we don't know is if the Bobcats, if they rushed the deal because of this date, July 1st, if they were pushing for that, knowing that, hey, that's a $5 million clock that's on the schedule that they have to address. Were they able to get the full bowl? As we know, Dr. Kelly Damphus, the school president here at Texas State, he put some tweets out before about potentially being offered what it seemed maybe a half share. We don't know the specifics yet. I feel like we're going to get to know a lot more specifics after Monday and everything. But he did. He put out these tweets saying he doesn't want to accept a half bowl. He wants a full bowl. And he was saying soup, kind of alluding to what the share was. And that may seem silly to some of you who aren't on Twitter or X or anything. But Dr. Kelly Damphus is real active on these Twitter streets. We all know, some of you sickos that are on there, you see him all the time. He's real active, and it does great things. It promotes the school in different ways. But we've seen him drop these tweets about a duck seeming calm on the surface, but paddling its feet underneath. He'll put a gif of just a duck on top of some water, kind of alluding that he's working really hard in the background, working for this realignment. And it seemed like all that work is finally paying off. It will be interesting to see. That is my biggest question, is this going to be a full share for Texas State? I know there was a reporter, John Canzano. Apologize, I should have made a note about his name. He put out a report, and he's been doing a lot of reporting leading up to the Pac-12, some good information. But he put out a report saying it doesn't seem like the Bobcats are going to get that full share. I believe he even speculates a half share. His work is behind a paywall, so I don't want to really spoil it or anything for him. But it does seem he seems to be suggesting that the Bobcats weren't able to obtain that full share, and they may have been motivated by that July 1st, that date, that hard out on the Sun Belt Conference. So that will be interesting to see. I think that really, depending on if it's not a full share, have to see the exact specs on it. If it's not too bad, if it's a 3/4 share or even a half share just for a few years, I would still understand why Texas State would make this move, because it does still elevate the brand, the school, the athletics department on a national scale, more so than being in the Sun Belt does. Even the big reason, I mean, obviously you wanna make more money. You want the program, the more resources they can throw at everything, the more they can build better facilities and get better recruits and all that great stuff. So obviously that's the biggest motivating factor for realignment, for moving to the Pac-12. And so if they weren't able to get that full share, that will be interesting to see what they were able to get. That's probably the main thing that I'm looking for on Monday. But I mean, after that, I'm very excited for this prospect for the Bobcats. As many of you know, you've been listening to the pod. We're pretty hyped about this prospect. Wizard Wednesday, my guy, our great producer, Zachary Webb, he's been dropping a great series every Wednesday called Wizard Wednesday. Go check that out if you haven't. We have a nice little segment for it on our YouTube channel. If you go check that out, Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube, you'll see all those Wizard Wednesdays right there. His very first one, it was a banger. It was all about why the Bobcats should join the Pac-12. And even this week, he had one, if Texas State goes to the Pac-12, should UTSA follow us? And we've been excited about this prospect for a while. And so it's great to see it all kind of come together at this point in time. It's a great time for it to come together too. June, we definitely need some content. So this has been fun to be able to talk about all this for the month of June. I mean, obviously, still a lot of questions on the table, still a lot to go over to want to see this deal. Obviously, and we're not going to get our hands on the contract right when this is done. If it is done right away on Monday, we're not going to see that deal, but we will be able to put in some Freedom of Information Acts requests so that we can take a look at that contract and everything. So we will be able to see all of that. But I'm sure whenever they announce it, they announce this decision, this to move to the Pac-12, that they'll include that as well. Maybe some notes about how much this deal is for Texas State. But like I was saying though, even if you obviously you want it to be the full deal, but even if it's not, this is going to elevate this place to levels that we haven't even seen before. I really believe that, and I think this is it's probably the most important off the field transaction that's happened with this program. I mean, aside from moving from FCS to FBS, obviously that was massive, but I think this is big. Just, I mean, you've seen alone, you look around how many publications are talking about Texas State. I mean, I know this week I've lost count how many pod spots and radio hits that I've done. I know today alone I've done 6. I'm pretty exhausted talking to you right now. Not really. I could talk about this all. I could do 6 more if I'm being honest. But I did 2 radio spots, 2 pods, and including this pod and a TV hit, Fox 7. Shout out to Fox 7. John High, which was a huge trip because that guy, he's one of the great Bobcats of all time from the 90s. He works for Fox 7 as a sports reporter, and I meet him at UFCU Stadium so he can interview me about all of this. And I'm like, this feels reversed, but that was pretty cool to be there at UFCU Stadium, especially because I'll tell you how big of a moment this is. I've been covering Texas State since 2008. A long, long time. And this is the second time I've done a TV hit for the Bobcats, for a local Austin channel. The other time was 9.5 years ago. It was unfortunately when Will Trevilian passed away, Texas State offensive lineman, defensive lineman. He played both, a real versatile player. He passed away the same day that Everett Withers was hired as coach. And I was asked if I could meet at the stadium and do a quick spot, and I did it. I obviously wasn't that excited about that one. I don't even think I watched it. But that was a very sad situation. But then to go back almost 10 years later, or go forward almost 10 years later to right now, when my guy Joe Salazar called me about wanting to maybe get on there with John High and talk to him at UFCU Stadium, and just to be standing there at UFCU Stadium and to see Will Trevilian's name on the weight room now, the brand new weight room that the Bobcats just built, that they spent a lot of time trying to fundraise and get that built and to revamp the end zone, the south end zone complex over there, so it has a roof where fans can stand on and a walkway that connects it to the seats and all that stuff. A lot of that was made possible because of Will Trevilian's dad, Bo Trevilian. And he donated a lot of money so that the Bobcats could build that weight room, and now it's named after Will Trevilian. And for me, just standing there in that parking lot thinking about that, it hit me real hard. It's like, man, this place has come a long, long way, from where it was. Not even 10 years ago, just a couple years ago. I mean, everybody knew it around here that this place, it just needed new leadership. It has so much potential. It's such a big school. It's in between San Antonio, in between San Antonio and Austin. You've heard all the sell points already, all about it. We've known about it. You sickos listening. I mean, obviously there's a few more of new people out there. Some of you from the West Coast, shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. But the true base of this podcast, the staples that have been here, even when it was a 2-10 season, and it wasn't looking up at all. Just a few years ago, you were still tuning in, the true sickos, because you tuned in because you knew the potential of this place. You knew what was capable here. You just needed other people to see it. And it felt like we've talked about it a lot. I know I've beaten it like a dead horse about sports being a front porch of the university, but it is what people see. And when people finally started to see, hey, their football team's not that bad. Oh, wow, look at those facilities. Hey, man, got a pretty good baseball program. Look at them, volleyball, track and field, all these other Olympic sports that are going around that they've been doing awesome at, softball. It's you just needed people to see that. And football helped them get a glimpse into it. And the Pac-12, maybe it was because some other of their candidates turned it down. They're not ready for it. They didn't want to do it. Bobcats are in the right place at the right time, and boom, they move right in there. It's truly incredible, but it is surprising, but it's not surprising because it's something that we all knew. We all knew it. Even in those downtrodden years from 2015 to 2022, when they went 8 years without winning more than 4 games, there were so many of you out there that still knew it, that still knew that this place, if you just changed the leadership and you galvanized this place and you had someone in there who actually gave a damn about athletics, because it's important. It's important. You may not know, is it as important as the education side and becoming an R1 research institution? No, it's not. That is obviously paramount for a university. But this is what people are going to see first. And that's what Dr. Kelly Damphus and Don Coryell, the athletics director, that's what they understand. That's what they came in there, and they came in here and they understood the assignment that if you fix that, it'll fix everything else. It'll fall into place. And even, you know what, it is a bit risky to go to this Pac-12. It is the Pac-12 revival. It's not the Pac-12 that we all knew before. It's a rehash. I've seen some people call it Pac State because it's all state schools: Washington State, Oregon State, Utah State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Colorado State, Boise State, and now Texas State. It is Pac State. It's the revival. But if you look at that, that's still a fun conference, and I cannot wait to see some of those opponents come to San Marcos. I guess not all states, because Gonzaga for basketball as well. Talk about, that's going to be fun. They're going to come and whoop on the Bobcats, but we'll all be there, happy to see them. Thank you, sir. May I have another type of deal on that one? But it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's new territory, obviously, for the Bobcats to expand their brand and get everybody to look at. The Sun Belt was all very east, southeast, and now we're talking about the West Coast. It just does big things for Texas State. And I mean, even I mentioned Michael Adams earlier. I saw him put out a tweet where Texas State is the biggest school in the new look Pac-12. Of the 8 schools, Texas State has the most students at 40,000. And it just goes to that potential of this place that all of us knew that just needs to be tapped. It's getting there. Football still has a bit of a ways to go. Some other sports, of course, they still have some things they need to fix and everything. But getting to the Pac-12 is going to elevate things, and it's just gonna bring in more resources and allow this university to really separate itself from some of these other G5s in Texas. I can't stress enough how big it is. I mean, even just you think about how many all week, even going back into last week, how many publications have been talking about Texas State. That's the type of stuff that you can't buy. You can't. That's the type of advertising that you can't. You can buy all the billboards and whatever you want, but just to get the word of mouth, where I have people from all around. My dad, obviously my dad, he's tuning in. Shout out to my dad. Should have given you a happy Father's Day shout out last time. I regret that. Happy belated one for you though. His good buddy from the Navy, Dave Buckholz, Washington State grad, he's texting me. My dad's friend is reaching out to me about this. Like, that's how, and he lives far away. That's how, I think they're in North Carolina now. They move around, being Navy people. But it's pretty incredible the reach that this has expanded, and that's a big thing for Texas State. So, I mean, with that in mind, I feel like I'm willing to give it a little grace if this doesn't end up being the full bowl. If John Casano's report is correct and they weren't able to get that full share, I think I'm still able to give it a little grace. It will be a disappointing, because obviously that's you need that money to allocate resources and things like that, or to increase resources and things like that. So, but I'm still willing to. I understand why you would want to make that move, even if it's not for the full bowl, if you will, because you got to adapt. At least it puts the Bobcats in better position for if everything changes, the Bobcats at least have a chance, a seat at the table to make themselves known. Shout out to the Sun Belt though, and I've seen a lot of fighting on Twitter all about it. The Sun Belt was a great conference. It is a great conference. It's a little less great without the Bobcats though. But what can I say? Off to the Pac-12. Shout out to the Raging Cajuns. They're real mad. They're real mad about it. They're not happy. That's going to be a fun game coming up in Lafayette this season. Oh, I'm going to keep this one brief because honestly, even before the news drops on Monday, we're going to do more content. I want to get on here with the wizard, Zachary Webb. Maybe he and I can give some thoughts about what are we planning for the Pac-12? Can we maybe make it to San Diego or some of these cool places? But I definitely want to do that. I want to have some other people on. Let's have a pack party all weekend. My lovely wife, she knows how big this news is. She saw me doing a bunch of radio spots and podcast hits and saw me pacing around the house just with excitement, knowing I'm itching to get in front of a camera and talk on the microphone all about these Bobcats. And so she's going to clear out. She's taking the kids and going to her mom's this weekend, which I'm going to miss them, but I cannot wait to make you a bunch of content. So if she's out of the house, I got to bring you the goods. So we're going to bring you the goods. So stay ready. This is like the appetizer that we have going on here. We got more coming. And I tried to talk about different stuff than what I had. If you listen to all the other things that I did, shout out to you. You are the truest sicko if you did that. Really need someone to record that Fox 7 piece coming up tonight. I don't get the Austin channels. I used to. I felt like it did. YouTube TV is giving me the San Antonio ones. But I've tried to give you guys something different on just this quick little 25-minute episode. But I'll leave you with this one. This is a quote that I have read before. It's from Dr. Kelly Damphus. It is when Bobcat Stadium became UFCU Stadium. I believe that was like last May. I want to say when the Bobcats sold the rights to their stadium for a good chunk of money, a lot of money over a decade. It'll be UFCU Stadium. And it was a big move. I know some people were like, oh, Bobcat Stadium, that's such a nice name. But again, we talk about the importance of capital and what that can do for resources, especially at a place like Texas State where there's 13 FBS programs in the state of Texas. So it's really hard to separate yourself. And one way you can do that is money. So when they sold the name to the stadium, you could see Dr. Damphus was real proud of that moment. And he had a great quote, one that I've kept written down in my notes because it's one that it's very special to me, and I knew that there would come other times when I would read it, like today. Today is that day. This is from Dr. Kelly Damphus last spring. Quote, I'm going to get a little emotional here, but I hear people say Bobcats are gonna Bobcat. There's this whole idea that we're always going to stumble somehow. The Bobcats are Bobcatting now. Going to bowl games, winning championships, winning the Bubas Cup, being the best stadium in the Sun Belt Conference, and one of the best in the Group of Five schools, having a coach like Kinney, where people are talking about you nationally. We live in a great community, a great part of Texas. You don't have to fly coaches around to recruit kids. We just give them gas cards. End quote. Dr. Damphus, the Bobcats are Bobcatting now. That's for sure. That's for sure. And I appreciated that so much because for years and years before he said that, you would hear that a lot. Bobcats are going to Bobcat. And it was indicative of, oh, they're going to screw up somehow. They stumble somehow. And it's not true. And changing that narrative has been very important to him. It's something that's always been very important to me. I named this podcast Win Now or Get Bent to show we have to have standards here. We have to have a standard of excellence. That is something that Dr. Damphus understands, that Don Coryell understands, that GJ Kinney understands. These guys, they are really, they have this place humming. And these other coaches understand too. I don't mean to just point out GJ Kinney. You got Ricky Woodard, you got Sean Hewitt. You have some excellent coaches here that really understand it. Those that kept this going. We talked about the Bubas Cup in that quote from Dr. Damphus, and that was the Olympic sports that really kept it going. So the Bobcats, they're Bobcatting now. Let's go. Off to the Pac-12. All right. Check out our Patreon site, patreon.com/windhourgetbent, WNOGB.com to get some sweet merch. Bam. We got to think of some good pack merch, don't we? That's popping in my head. But if you're watching on the YouTube channel, Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, do all the great stuff. You can see me wearing the Mad Cat shirt, the awesome Mad Cat shirt. We've got lots of other great stuff on there. Check us out on Twitter at Win Now or Get Bent. On Instagram at WNOGB. Gosh, I don't remember the last time I posted on Instagram, but please still follow us there. I'll get on there. We needed socials, intern. If you have any good candidates, maybe a student at Texas State, that's what we need. I'm too busy. 2 kids. I don't know. I can't be tweeting from all these accounts and everything. Oh, all you audio heads out there, listen on the audio version. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, rate us. Nice 5-star rating. Somebody put a rating talking about the Pac-12. I know it'll pop up and I'll be able to read that on Apple for sure if you're on there. But make sure you like, subscribe, comment on all those, including the YouTube channel, Win Now or Get Bent on YouTube. Thank you again to TGC. Shout out to the Wizard, Zachary Webb. Go check out Wizard Wednesday. He's been cooking 3 videos out. He's going to keep it going. I know they've been putting up some awesome numbers too. Real proud of my guy. He's been crushing it. Awesome videos. Hey, he even has a stamp of approval from my dad. I don't know if I've told you that, Webb, if you're listening, but it's pretty good. He likes the stuff you're bringing. And of course, thank you to you sickos. Big time coming up, everybody. Big time. Make sure you pack well. Don't forget anything. If you think I'm gonna hang up these pack puns, then no, I'm not gonna pack it in anytime soon. I'm just gonna keep cooking with them. All right, sickos. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for always tuning in. It's nice not shouting into the void, having you listen and hear back from you. It's been fantastic. Cannot wait for the Pac-12. Win now or get bent.